Okay, we're talking about Mean Girls today. This was your idea, so
So that's
what
my
do you-
idea.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yes.
We are talking about Mean Girls today on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you start with this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I was telling my wife like today and yesterday. I was like, what am I even gonna say about Mean Girls? I had never seen it until last night. And yeah, I have no clue, so I'm excited to see where this takes us. But yeah, what made you think like, oh yeah, this is a good movie that we should talk about?
To be totally honest, it's something different.
Yeah.
We're trying
That's
to
for
cover
sure.
a wide variety
That's
of
for
things.
sure.
We're branching out slowly, gradually.
Yeah.
So this is, it's a rom-com. It's a standalone movie. It's not part of a big franchise. So branching out into just different genres, different time periods. Say time periods. The two time periods are like the early 2000s and then the 2010s. The 80s, I guess. Early 80s.
Are you talking about the movies
Rock.
we've done?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes.
Not Mean Girls specifically. But
Okay.
like we did Rocky, we did Nausicaa.
Yes.
I'm aware we hit a lot of the big names. But Mean Girls, it's a standalone. It's distinct from the other things we've done. And I think it'll make for a good conversation.
Yeah, it's more grounded than in our reality than a lot of other movies that we've talked about are.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I don't know what I expected. Every movie that you've suggested that I've never seen, I never know what to expect. I'm like, well, I didn't think it was going to be like that. I don't know what I thought it was going to be like, but
It's fair. What are your thoughts on the film? Having just watched the film, broad overview of your thoughts.
I thought it was funny.
You hated.
I thought
this
it was
film.
funny. No,
You
it's just
hated this
no,
movie.
no. It's tough. It's
dear
tough.
gosh.
It's tough.
You hated the film.
I don't hate the film. I
You
don't hate
didn't
the
like
film.
the film.
I think I'm just feeling insecure because I was homeschooled too. except for I was homeschooled in high school, not going into high school.
So it was the reverse
Having been
for
homeschooled,
you.
it was the reverse. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So maybe I just took it personally.
Okay. It was just targeted.
It felt
So-
targeted. But
so just to restate your position, the film was bad because
No.
you related to the characters too much.
yeah, they were too relatable.
That's an
and they
interesting
were
take.
the characters were too human,
That's
and I don't. And
that
I
would
like
bother you.
I like distance
You just
between myself and the movie because I'm watching a
cold,
movie. I don't want to watch a movie about
stoic
myself.
Characters.
I don't want to watch a movie about myself.
Okay. Just completely different people that you can't relate to at all.
Different time period, different. Yeah. Especially because it was the opposite.
Your
It wasn't
ideal,
the story of my life.
Ideal film is just a silent Greek tragedy where they're wearing masks the whole time,
Yeah, actually,
black and white.
except for all of them were wearing masks the whole time. Isn't that kind of in Mean Girls?
in Mean Girls.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Isn't
yes.
that kind of
Oh, yeah.
part of the point?
That's kicking off the
The-
analysis of the film.
Yeah, there we go. We got to it. The plastic masks that they were wearing.
Exactly.
Exactly. No, I can see why this is a cult classic. I can see why, it's the movie. One thing I did notice about the movie is that it never stopped.
Yeah.
There was never a minute where I could just take a second and process what was happening. Like even the quiet parts, it's like, oh, this character's being introduced and they're a caricature of this stereotype.
Yes.
And oh, there's this person. Oh, there's this. Okay. Even just calmly talking at the lunch table. It's like, there's a lot going on here. I've just met all these characters. And it's just one thing after another after another.
Yeah.
Where they got to the talent show, and I was like, oh, this movie's almost over. It's like it's 40 minutes in, and I'm like, it already felt like we gotten to like a climax of the movie with all the tension and stuff. But yeah, I think it did a good job, portraying what high school would be like in just a very overemphasized and ridiculous extent.
Yeah, like it's definitely a caricature of high school, what that experience is like. But, there's something charming in it. Like, it's recognizable. It's not that it's one-to-one or realistic, but you can watch it and say, oh, it is like that. It's overwhelming. There's a lot of people there. They form into aggressive social cliques. The kind of concerns that these characters have are the kind of concerns people could relate to, including yourself.
Intensely.
Yes,
yeah, in high school.
It does a very good job of telling a story that people can find themselves in, but that also is very humorous and over the top.
Yeah, I saw Lorne Michaels' name during the opening credits, like he produced the movie, And I was like, this makes so much sense. After seeing it, like Tina Fey wrote it, if I remember correctly, and like Tina Fey's in it, Amy Poehler's in it, Lorne Michaels is in it. I'm like, this is just a long SNL sketch. That's what this is.
That's a good
And
take. Yes.
it's just because it made sense because things just keep happening in SNL sketches, and this one just happened to have a moral at the end.
Yeah.
But
It's a great way to describe the film.
I mean, that's like you have
A
like
very long SNL skit.
it's what it
with a
is. It's an hour
moral.
and a half long SNL sketch. But no, yeah, it was very funny. It was very humorous, and I think that I was never a girl in high school, so I don't know what it's like to relate to being in that phase of life necessarily.
Right.
But it was all things that's like it's understandable that there's safety. The whole thing of there's safety in numbers. You have the popular clique and all the other cliques, but the popular clique is filled with backstabbing girls who are just trying to protect themselves and also be close to the alpha of the group. And then it was kind of weird to me how they just invited her to join them.
Yeah.
Like I never caught like why they decided to do that. And I don't remember what year they're in. Are they juniors? Or is it like freshmen? At the end they see the freshmen.
Know.
You see like that group of freshmen that like she imagines them getting hit by the bus.
Right.
And it's almost like they're the new versions of her and her friends. So I should know this, but I don't.
Yeah, it's escaping me right now, and I feel like I should know it as well. I think she kind of just checked a lot of their boxes. Like she was new. They recognized her as somebody who could be fun to hang out with, somebody who could be
she looked like them.
Socially competent. Yeah, somebody who
she
met
fit
certain physical standards and appearance and style to a certain degree.
Okay, so she's 16, so sophomore or junior, I think.
Yeah.
So it just seemed like a weird, like, oh, all of a sudden, like these are evil people, these are evil girls, and they're just like, oh yeah, you can come stay with us.
I think there's one of the things I think the film does a really good job exploring is kind of the backstabbing nature of at least high school dynamics. They're all the time these characters are saying one thing to a character's face and saying a completely different thing behind their back. Right, like that's the big part of the climax of the story. With the burn book, it's just a gigantic tome of gossip or half truths to spill about other people. All the time Regina is complimenting people's appearances and then mocking it behind them. She's digging into her friends behind their back, just barbs about their relationships or about their standards or about their style or intelligence. I think it makes sense that they would invite her in quickly, even if they don't like her.
Well, and it would be to like, oh, we can use her.
Yeah.
For some myriad of reasons. And I still couldn't quite pinpoint why, but it's like, I guess it's like, oh, it couldn't hurt having her there because it doesn't seem like Regina likes either one of the other girls, really.
Yeah.
Even though I think that the other two seem to some degree, genuinely like Regina. And maybe just the companionship. But, like, Regina doesn't like anybody. The way that she bosses her mom around was hilarious. Like, that was one of my favorite parts of the movie. She's just yelling at her mom, like, Mom, go away. Mom, go fix your hair. Okay.
I did like that she had a pretty decent mom. Like, she's not...
Yeah.
She's not... They didn't go for, like, the trope of you meet a kid at school who's mean, but then you meet their parents, and you understand why they're mean, because the parent is horrific. I guess meeting the mom, it didn't instill a lot of sympathy for Regina and me.
No.
It's just like, oh, yeah, that's her mom.
It's like, oh, you boss her around at home, too. Even though her mom is her own kind of horrifically bad, but not in the same way of, like, oh, the bully bullies people at school because they're bullied at home.
Yeah, it didn't
or there's a
the bullying.
rough home life or something.
It was just like, oh, okay.
Like, oh, okay, you're just terrible.
Yeah, this is one more thing.
You're just terrible, and you don't have any redeeming qualities whatsoever. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Lindsay Lohan's good in the movie.
Yeah,
I think she was a pretty, even when she ended up doing some like pretty backstabby type things, but overall I think she was a pretty good main character.
Yeah.
And how she interacted with all the different groups and now ended up at the end.
She's a good point of view character. Homeschooled beforehand, so it's our introduction to high school. So it's a it's a very natural kind of you follow the character into a new world. You follow Frodo onto the adventure. You follow, Miles Morales when he switches schools. Something very similar here, where you follow Caddy as she transfers schools.
Well, I think it's good
It's a good way to do it.
that they did make her 16
Yeah.
and not freshman age, because anytime you transfer from like elementary to middle school or middle school to high school, even though you're going in with like a class of your peers,
Yeah.
you have that unknown. And so now that the school has been settled for a year or two, now she is coming into an environment that is like all the cliques are, the power structure is in place. There's very limited mobility, even though she seems to have more than others because she's very smart, but she also is attractive to the plastics clique, and so that was I think that seemed like a pretty intentional choice.
I would agree. I think it's a good way to integrate her into a world and an environment that's already settled in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting. The story moves fast.
Yes.
She shows up, she makes friends with kind of the weirder kids, the more like kind of artsy theater kids, if we're gonna stereotype them.
There's only two of them.
Yes, there's only two of them. They're the kids on the fringes. The kids nobody else wants to hang out with.
Yeah.
So I think a good way to describe them. She makes friends with them quickly, and then they are kind of her introduction to this world. They explain the friend groups, the dynamics, what to be aware of, what to look out for. And then they kind of push her into this plan to infiltrate the plastic clique and cause problems there.
Yeah. Yeah, her having to balance both friend groups and her loyalties there. Them trying to backstab them, their whole plan to go about like getting rid of her boyfriend and then her friends, and then turn like affecting her actual body and her own, and like preying on her insecurities and stuff. Like that's a whole nother level. That's definitely some high school crap, but that's devious.
It's very aggressive.
That's devious.
It's escalated well beyond.
Well, and they all have like
I think is rational.
Like Janice and Katie, like Janice kind of takes, or Katie kind of takes on Janice's whole fight, and she just is kind of like, okay, sure, I'll do this for you, and then it becomes hers as she gets closer.
Yeah.
So their dynamic's really interesting too. That kind of falls off near the end, and then near the end they're just kind of like, yeah, okay, we're not mad at each other anymore, and that's kind of the end of it.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, which that kind of brings me to Aaron, her boyfriend, and Regina's ex-boyfriend. He seemed very weird and out of place.
How so?
During the movie. Well, because like she has a crush on him, and then Regina like steals him back, which makes sense.
Yeah.
That's something Regina would do. And then like Katie tells Aaron that Regina's cheating on him. And then he's like mad and like he needs some space, and then he continues to be mad at her for a long time. And I'm kind of like, why is that? Like, maybe it's the whole friends thing. Like, I don't know, with her being friends with Regina or whatever. And then at the end, they share like a romantic kiss at the spring fling and everything. And they, like that's okay. That's a cool resolution. It's like, yeah, he went off to college. And then the final scene, he's just not there.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. He was a senior, but still it's like, he was a pretty main part of this whole thing. And then like they have a brief moment where they're reconciled, and then he's just gone at the end.
I think it works. I think it's a good way for Katie to kind of ease into the social group. It creates tension between her and Regina, and I think it's accurate to high school relationships. They come and go, and oftentimes they end abruptly with the end of a school year.
Well, I mean, she says that she's still dating him and she sees him every weekend.
Yeah. But there's this tension where they shift dramatically quickly based off the school year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're not necessarily over, but it's a shift. I think it works enough for the film. I also think it's a nice contrast to a lot of the films that we watch, in which the romantic character is the female character, and she doesn't have much of a personality. In this one, Aaron he filled that role.
Do you think that's Do you think that's just a problem on the movie side, or is it just that we've consistently picked movies that?
I think
Actually, we've had 4 episodes where we talked about Hunger Games.
we have.
So
And we talked about
that's like a third of our episodes so far, by the way.
talked
K-pop
about the
Demon
love
Hunters.
interest and in Hunger Games, which went over great everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere on all platforms. We were on the right side of that one. That was good to see. Yeah, that was good to see. Awesome.
Yes.
We stepped in that one.
I hold to my opinion in full. Go
Yeah.
watch the Hunger Games episodes.
Please
to
do.
learn more about
Please
what we're
do.
talking about.
And I encourage you to go to the TikTok shorts.
Don't do
and
that.
you don't need to engage
Don't
or
do that.
anything. Just read the comments. We got flamed.
I think
We got flamed.
I think the argument in full, in the full podcast episode, is better than trying to condense it.
Yeah,
into
but
something
yeah,
shorter.
the sadly the whole episode isn't on TikTok, so we just
Dude,
get what
if
we get
only.
at this point. But no, you're right. You're right.
I think Aaron, he makes for a good romantic interest. He doesn't have a lot of depth to him.
Yeah.
Most romantic interests don't.
That's true.
That's fine. In this film, it's a guy because it's a film about teenage girls.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it is the other way around.
I mean, we complained similarly about Elf.
Yes.
How the female characters in that one just were not fleshed out at all.
Yeah.
And this
What
one
is this character like independent of the people they're in a relationship with romantically?
Right. And in this case, I think the point is that Katie is still herself, and she went through the whole thing of changing herself for friends, changing herself for a guy, and then at the end she's just herself.
Yeah.
And it didn't really impact her one way or the other. With him there, she's the same as whenever he's not there.
Yeah. So I liked that the dynamic was that Katie she had to play dumb to win him over initially.
Yes, yeah.
It's this, the sense of like, oh, I don't know how to do this on the test, or oh, I don't know how to do this. Oh, I need tutoring. She's really smart. I think it's an interesting aspect of their relationship that she has to play dumb in order to get the guy. I feel like there's a critique there that that's the kind of thing most guys are attracted to, that they don't look for intelligence in a partner, right? They're looking for someone who's dumb and attractive. And I think that there's this sense in which I think it's the main thing that the film explores, but just the social pressure or the social system that the plastics are imposing on others and that they impose on themselves, and that's imposed on them by society. It's artificial, and it keeps pushing them into very restrictive, very belittling circumstances where characters like Katie have to do things like play dumb because that's the womanly thing to do. Oh, that's probably what a guy would find attractive and womanly, not being good at math, not being good at my tests. I think that that's a constant throughout. And I think you see a lot of smart female characters in the film reduced to like what they look like or how well they play the social game, right? Like Janice is a good example of that. She is a little bit on the outside. She might not meet conventional beauty standards or social standards, and so she's on the outside of the group. And I think that's the system that escalates throughout the film. I think that Aaron, he's a component of that system and that argument about high school social dynamics.
Yeah.
About how brutal and reputation based they can be. I think he fits into that nicely.
I think so, because there's not a smart male character in this movie.
No.
Like that is, there's no male character in the movie who's smarter than a female character in the movie.
Yes.
I should say. That's portrayed that way. Even her dad, all the guys at school, the principal, like Tina Fey's character is like way smarter than the principal is, and so she takes over during the school assembly and all that stuff. So, and even the plastic girls who are like dumb and attractive is the stereotype. They are all except for Karen, who's portrayed not very smart.
One of them's actually not
one
smart.
of them is actually the stereotype, but no, like but Regina and Gretchen. Oh, and yeah. But like Regina and Gretchen are smart.
Yeah.
They just, the way that they choose to use that is to emphasize, like being attractive to guys and manipulating other girls against them.
The whole
and manipulating
social system,
guys.
It displays just this really intense intelligence, right? Because like to even engage with it, it's subtle, it's two-faced, it's long term. Um, it just they're constantly displaying their intelligence for the whole film.
Yeah.
To me, it's a lot more effective than something like Sherlock, where it's like this character's smart because I'm going to tell you their thoughts in a voiceover, and I'm going to put graphics on the screen, and I'm going to have other characters tell you constantly, hey, they're really smart. This is a smart character. It's like in this one, it's just they're embedded in a social environment that they navigate really well. And from that, you're like, oh, Regina's really smart. And that's what gives her the edge over other women, over other people. It's not that she's the most attractive, it's that she is brutally intelligent and is able to navigate those social circles really well. I think that that's it. Yeah, just everything in the film I think is really interconnected,
Yeah.
which is impressive because it's a fast-paced film that covers a lot, but it all ties together really smoothly.
Yeah, the fact that they keep having her, the math team even keep showing up,
Yeah.
like whenever she's pressured to go to the groups or it's brought in as a narrative thread, and then she has to end up being on the team and then making the dance, and the other guy who's on the team falls in love with one of her friends and stuff.
Mm.
Like everything that gets brought up, they use
Yeah.
in some way. Like nothing gets lost. Um, so even the bars that Regina's eating, like they have her boyfriend like fill in the gaps for her, and they even do something crazy like hit Regina with a bus.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? That's fine. I was like, I had forgotten. I thought I remembered something like that happening, but I didn't quite. Like at the beginning of the movie, she almost gets hit by a bus. I was
Right.
like, okay. But then they actually hit a character with a bus, and I thought she was dead, and then she wasn't dead, and I was like, you know what? It's fine.
Shadows her spine and spends the rest of the film in just this gigantic full body cast.
like what in the world? Like it's making this really intelligent and intentional message and a point, and they just hit her with a bus, and it doesn't change anything.
No, it's just funny.
It's just funny.
Well, it's
Her-
funny. I guess it does continue to build
Her
and
being
escalate the
her
stakes.
being in a brace doesn't change much.
No,
At
the
all.
plot goes
It's
on pretty
just funny.
consistently either way
It's
without
just like you're having this like near the end, like it would almost feel anticlimactic in any other movie where like she's going head to head against Regina. Like she eventually just falls away,
it. Yeah.
and then she just takes the blame for the burn book and just kind of takes it on the chin and moves on. And then she's on the stage whenever she's accepting the award, and she gives her a piece of the crown, and like that's essentially it. There is no like the climactic scene with her is like whenever she starts throwing the papers everywhere and the school freaks out,
Right.
and the principal grabs a baseball bat for some reason,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
I like the added element that the teachers and the principals are just as embedded in this
Yes.
social dynamic
Yes.
as everyone else.
The teachers are intimately connected. Tina Fey gets accused of dealing drugs. The police have to invest. Dude, so funny. Like that. And she's like, fine. She's not dealing drugs.
I think what's the best way to word? I think the film is really sophisticated because it doesn't come down to a clash between Katie and Regina just like duking it out in a verbal sparring match or something. It it kind of it transcends that. Not to like I get that over analyzing films is what we do.
Yeah,
I
that's
get
what
that.
we're doing. That's what we're doing.
But it's like it doesn't come down to a conflict between the two women because Katie basically wins the social confrontation before
yes.
that, and she is seated at the peak of the social environment, and she's the dominant character within it. And then what the film explores at the very end of the film is what you do when you do have this social privilege or when you are at the top of the social environment. And it essentially just insinuates that you have a lot more responsibility. You know, she takes responsibility for the burn book. She takes responsibility for something she didn't do for the sake of social cohesion, social rebuilding. And then when she does stand up and she tears up the tiara and she throws it out to everyone, I think you can read that as like this using your privilege for the benefit of others. You're liquidating your social status. You're distributing it amongst people who might be on the outside. So you're bringing in people from the fringes. You're bringing in Janice and the other students. Um, and I think it's interesting that the film ends not with Katie destroying Regina
Mm-mm.
as an individual,
Yeah.
but her destroying kind of this oppressive social system that rigidly controls the lives of her and her classmates.
Well, I think the scene with the tiara where she's physically breaking it and handing it out to people, it's like after that
Yes.
point, the cliques are gone.
Yeah.
Like they're like, they still
So
have
well done.
they have the main group join other cliques, but it's like after that moment, the cliques start meshing with each other.
Yeah.
And at the end, this is probably one of the most realistic aspects. None of them are friends at the end of the plastics clique.
Yeah.
Like Regina and Katie are cordial. They're not friends. They don't just have this big blow up and then they're best friends at the end.
Yeah.
Like there's movies that do that well, but here they didn't even go down that route.
Yeah.
Gretchen's with another group, Karen's doing something else, and then they, Gretchen or Regina and Katie just kind of wave at each other,
Yeah.
and like that's the end of it.
Yeah.
So definitely a different approach to how to resolve that, and pretty,
Yeah.
groups break up in school either during your high school years or after. So, and you just kind of lose touch with people. I think your friendships shift and things happen and drama happens, and then
Yeah.
So that was pretty realistic.
I think it's a testament to the film that it's able to do that and not feel unsatisfying.
Yeah,
It's very impressive, I think.
well, because it makes you feel like it's the best thing for each of them,
Yes.
and it emphasizes that really well.
Yeah.
He's like Regina joins the lacrosse team, like something that's like you would have never thought that's where she was headed. Karen doing the weather reporting, like that's something that just none of that was foreshadowed during the movie, but they all seem very happy, even Regina, even though
It all plays as a natural conclusion to their character arcs, even if you couldn't have predicted it from the start of the film.
and you feel like Regina got her just desserts.
Yeah.
Because even though at the end of the movie you don't like see her like lose a ton of stuff or like get really embarrassed, she got hit by a bus. So they hit her with the bus, and then she gets a good ending.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive.
I think it's helpful to read the film in terms of her being saved, right? Like she's forcibly kicked out of her social privilege, and she is then hit with a bus. So it's humbling.
Yeah. Right.
All around.
Right.
I think that thanks to Katie, every character gets to a good place where they are more stable. They are happier, they're healthier, they're in a better social situation. I think it's really impressive that the film's able to get there without it ever feeling odd. I think it's a wickedly intelligent movie about teenage life. I think those movies are often dumbed down quite a bit,
Yeah.
especially when they're about women.
So
It was refreshing to see a film in which the characters were as intelligent, were incredibly intelligent, and the writing was equally intelligent. That went a long way. I think to this
especially
film's
for
staying
like
power.
a rom-com,
Yeah,
which is what this movie is. And
not to dunk on rom-coms on the whole.
no, but it's a movie about high school.
Yeah.
Like you're not expecting it to be like it's nonstop, but it's intelligent and they use everything.
Yes.
And they portray the characters as all the main characters as intelligent and very savvy and moving within the political circles of high school, and then the way that everything kind of falls together is believable.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't just fall into the same tropes that normal high school movies do. Now it's definitely a movie about the early 2000s high school. High school like cliques and the culture in high schools and stuff. So I wonder how it would compare like a high school student now. Like what do they like? What is similar and what is different? Because none of them
Yeah.
had phones.
It's true.
Like none of them had like smartphones on
That
them.
is an interesting observation. That the stuff they're doing at parties or the social reputation, none of it involves social media. None of it
Yeah,
involves
that's-
recordings. Well, she writes everything in a book,
Yeah,
a physical book,
and like and the
has
way
been
that it
torn
gets
up and distributed.
the way that she has to go down the hallways and put them up, like put the papers up and stuff, and like physically bring it to the principal
Yeah.
instead of like the principal hearing about it from parents or whatever. Like in other movies about high school that's more modern, like you see like kids aren't on their phones as much simply because they have to have a story where
Yeah.
characters interact with each other. which is less realistic
Yes.
nowadays. But you still have the cyberbullying. You
Mm.
still have social media and stuff playing a heavy role, a big role in those stories. In this one, it's non-existent.
Hmm.
So it's very,
Yeah.
very different than it is now. So I wonder what kind of similarities are there. You still have the tensions, you still have the clicks, I would imagine,
Hmm.
but to some degree. But what do those look like now?
Yeah.
And like I don't know the answer to that because I was homeschooled, so I got no clue. And also, high school was a while ago, like 7 or 8 years ago.
What I'm hearing is that you would love a.
Be careful.
No, I'm just saying this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you would love a modernized version
No,
of Mean Girls.
no, and
Like a more
the big reveal is
modern-
that it already exists.
More modern, but maybe that's true. More modern, maybe musical adaptation of Mean Girls.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
That might be. It could be.
No.
I think I heard you say that.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I think that's, you can deny
I
it.
think for
We heard the cry of your soul.
Now look,
We know that that would make you happy.
if we get enough people telling us to do it for science, we have to. We have to, because it would take the same story, but this time with cell phones. I would imagine. I don't know what the new one, if it has cell phones or not.
Maybe it doesn't.
But
I haven't seen
it could
the
be.
new one.
It could be set in 2004, like this one.
That'd be the funniest possible outcome. To remake not just the film, but the exact year of the film, not modernize it at all.
Oh wait a second. I was a new twist. Okay, so Tina Fey's still involved, and Lorne Michaels. What? So it's the same. Okay,
I'm pretty sure it's the same basic premise.
but is it the same time period? Because they still have the burn book. It's like, man, I don't know. I don't want to watch this, for the record. I want to put that out there now before the misinformation starts.
I think you requested that we watch it.
No, I
I
didn't.
think you did.
I really didn't.
I think you said, I wish
really
I could
didn't.
watch a modern version of the classic vintage film from the olden times,
The olden times.
Mean Girls. I think that's what you said.
N-
Basically verbatim.
nope.
Getting mixed signals again.
Hey, that's what I do.
Nodding your head.
That's what I do.
I
No, we'll insert X crazy milestone here for viewership and or memberships for Patreon that we don't have, and YouTube memberships that we don't have. Whatever number you think is astronomical, double it, and that's whenever we're gonna do the new Mean Girls.
I really like this film. It's an intelligent film. It is a
Yeah.
hilarious film. There's a lot of characters, but I think it juggles it really well. It is the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So it's
Mhm.
It has early 2000s woke.
Early 2000. Yeah. So can you elaborate on that
It is
or define it? I guess define it.
My working definition for this specifically. I feel like in a lot of early 2000s stuff, you have a lot of representation in the sense that the cast is very diverse. It tends to be, you have a central white cast with a peripheral, really diverse cast, right? So the experience is centered on the main white characters. And then on the periphery, you have all of the minority characters, but it's radically inclusive with the minorities that it depicts, right? So you have Black characters, you have Asian characters, you have characters in wheelchairs, you have characters with various physical disabilities, you have characters from all different cultures, you have characters in all different fashions. I feel like in the early 2000s you have a lot of that, but it's not centered. I think that that's one of the big distinctions from something that they would go on to do later, when they would tend to center those experiences on the periphery more so, which I think is a step up. In stuff like Mean Girls and other early 2000s stuff, it's diverse, but the diversity is poked fun at
Yeah.
for the whole film.
Yeah. It's the entire time.
So they're there, but they're the butt of a lot of jokes, and none of them are main characters, or none of them are a significant character that impacts the plot. The film could remove them and be essentially unchanged.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting time period, I think, for representation, because it's not that people weren't represented on screen. It's that they were increasingly pushed to peripheral roles in which they were included as like a token. Right, they have to be on screen so that you check the box, but it's not that the film or the story explores their experience. It's not that it's interested in telling their
It's not
story.
focused on it.
It's just that they are physically present in the general vicinity of the main characters, who happen to be pretty middle class, upper class white people. They're the quote unquote normal, I think, is centered, and then the peripheral is present and the butt of frequent jokes. That's how I would describe, I guess, early 2000s woke.
Early 2000s woke.
Positive, pre-internet globalism, I guess. Yeah. I don't know if that analysis makes sense.
It does.
It's
It
a
does.
personal, it's off the cuff.
I
If
can't
I'm
think of any movies that
horribly wrong.
I can't
let
think
me
of
know.
any other movies that do that, like off the top of my head. But I know that there are some where they do that kind of
Yeah.
that similar type of deal, where diversity's there, but it is on the periphery.
Yeah.
And much like now, you have some movies with more diversity than others. It's not like we're saying every movie back then had that.
Right.
There was a lot of movies that just had like all white cast,
Yes.
essentially. But movies. This was their version of woke.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good for the time, I think. I think we've made significant strides in terms of diverse representation on film. I also think there's multiple ways you can do diversity in a film.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can have a film that's centered on one particular group and explore their story and their life experience. And that can make it a diverse film, even if most of the characters in the film are of a particular subculture or a particular country. If you're telling a story about something like My Big Fat Greek Wedding, it's like it's about Greek people. That's the group. Or if you're the movie Sinners, it is about the black community in the United States. I do not expect those films to have the demographic makeup of the United States with 1-to-1 percentages. It's like
Right.
you can have a film that is just about one particular community. Maybe it's an immigrant community or a sexual community or a racial community, and you can explore what is life like for them in a particular time period, or what is a particular story from that group, or what does an individual's life look like navigating these social complexities. And that can be diverse because it contributes to social diversity, like in the general culture, even if the, I guess, amount of minorities within a film is not terribly diverse. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I think that we're in a better place with diversity because we have more stories where different types of diversity are center stage. I think that's incredibly beneficial. And I think that works a lot better than kind of the uniform low numbers of peripheral diversity we used to get.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes complete sense. I agree. Yeah, I mean that was Mean Girls. You have anything else?
I can't think of anything else. It's a good film.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to see a film before cell phones. I'm glad that you pointed that out. It's
just notably
tough.
different. Yeah. I would think, because cell phones are portrayed differently in movies, but I remember whenever I was in middle school, we had phones, but it was like you keep them put away.
Yeah.
But now in a lot of places, you're just allowed to have your cell phones. So how does that change the dynamic, not just with friend groups and outside of school, but in the classroom with the teachers? How do the teachers interact with the students in this new age of having, computers in your pockets?
Yeah.
So I would think that would make for a vastly different movie. Even the way that the bullying happens, or the manipulation happens, the power structures, because the power structure doesn't end whenever you leave school.
Yeah.
It's constantly 24-hour news cycle is where you're at now with cell phones and social media and stuff. So I wonder from a scientific perspective what the new one does. I guess I could just find out if it was based in the early 2000s or not.
Just chomping at the bit to watch the new Mean Girls movie.
I'm curious from a sociological perspective.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Great.
We at some point in the future, we will be covering the new Mean Girls.
Dude, episode
He's
500.
requested it specifically.
500. I just said I was curious.
You're just curious.
I'm just curious.
You're just curious.
That doesn't mean that everything I'm curious about automatically I'm like, I got to go figure this out right now.
Hey, just out of curiosity, what web page is open on your device right now?
Mean Girls 2024 time
yeah,
frame.
that's so it's not
I'm
that
figuring it
it's
out.
not that you have to have it figured out right now. It's just that
period.
you are. It's just that you have it open.
I do have it open.
I'm
trying to figure
I'm
this
just saying,
out.
it sounds like you're a little invested. You're just a little interested in how the new one plays out.
2020's technology.
There we go.
So I am curious. I am curious how they
You're doing yourself
what does
no
that
favors.
change? Is it a problem if I wanted to?
It's not a problem. I just think we should be honest.
I'm not being dishonest.
Do you want to cover the new Mean Girls film?
Not on the next
Not
episode.
on the next episode.
But eventually.
That's all I
That's
said.
all I'm saying.
That's all I said.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm glad.
We're on the same page.
This is a good conversation.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah. Let
Anything
us know
else?
if we're going into the burn book for this one. If we
Yes.
have said anything that that deserves being put in there and blasted everywhere, because that's where we're at now.
What would you rate this film?
Gosh. I'm 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I can't in good conscience do it any better than that.
Yeah.
It wasn't trying to be a 10 out of 10 film.
No.
It wasn't like it's I feel like cult classic is like it's a movie that wasn't an instant hit at the time.
Mm.
And so later on everyone really liked it. Is that kind of the definition of a cult classic? I've never really looked into it. So it's like whenever they were making it, it was supposed to just be a funny movie, but I do think it did some really unique things. And try to tell a different message than other rom-coms or other movies about high school at the time were doing, even nowadays.
Yeah.
So 8 out of 10.
I'd agree with that rating. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It was a very good movie. I think it wasn't earth-shattering. That's not a bad thing. Not every movie should be or can be. I thought it was a very strong film about high school, especially the female experience in high school with its specifically complex social dynamics. It was funny. It was very well written. All of the actors are giving their A game. It was well written. I really liked it. I'm not going to give it a higher rating than that just because I feel like the more that I kind of think about it, I feel like to rate it higher, it would need to be maybe more innovative or influential on future films, I guess. That's what I think of when I think of earth-shattering.
Well, that's the problem is that I don't know this genre very well.
It's true.
Like not just rom-coms, but like high school rom-com.
Yeah.
I don't know the genre enough to know not only what other movies are in this genre, but how did this movie influence those movies besides the direct sequel or the direct remake from 20 years later. So
keep circling back to it.
I can't think of any other high school rom-coms.
You make a
High School Musical doesn't really count as a high school rom-com.
There are others. I think I don't know. There's Princess Diaries.
Yeah, high school, I guess it's high school rom-com. Like I guess.
There are
but they have the huge she's a princess thing.
Right.
So
there's that. I'm not saying it's a 1-to-1. But you're right. It's not like this is a genre we're super familiar with.
Well, I mean, the more I think about it, being a princess is much like being homeschooled.
How?
You're isolated. Your life is completely different than everyone else's. And, like, you don't know how the world works.
Okay.
So it's a culture shock whenever you have to, even though she did it in reverse. So I guess she became a princess later. She was already a normal person.
Favorite Disney princess?
My knee jerk was Leia.
That's not
my knee jerk was to give the obnoxious. Oh, Princess Leia.
No.
Why not?
If your favorite Disney princess, if your answer to that question begins with "well," considering corporate mergers,
my answer was
the automatic thought.
My answer was Princess Leia. I didn't say any of that.
It was the subconscious foundation in your brain was corporate acquisitions. Favorite non-Star Wars Disney princess?
I have not thought about this too deeply.
I'm gonna be fascinated by your answer.
My
This
favorite.
is for science.
My favorite. This feels like entrapment.
It is.
I wanna
I
lay
want to
this
make
out.
that clear.
I want to lay
Is
this
it
out.
entrapment if I'm really open about it at the start?
Whenever you ask me, what is your favorite Disney princess movie? Is
Yes.
that being very open about you're trapping me?
I've confessed it's entrapment.
Okay, cool.
You haven't answered yet. It's still up front.
I think I enjoy the movie Mulan a lot. But a lot of it is
Okay.
due to I enjoy history, and that's one of the ones that's more rooted in like a previous time period.
Okay.
Now, favorite Disney princess, like as far as character goes, I haven't seen all the princess movies. So maybe that's something we need to do.
No.
Because I haven't seen.
We're not doing that. No.
That's what it sounds. That's what it sounds like you're saying.
Okay.
No,
here,
I like
hear it.
Mulan. I like Mulan a lot.
Okay.
I like Mulan a
Okay.
lot. Yeah.
One is-
What's yours?
It's tough.
I watched Frozen a ton because I
Nah.
have a little sister. So
See, for me,
it
I'd say
could be one of
either,
those.
either Mulan or Rapunzel. Because I feel like those are the two best films.
yeah. Okay.
I think my hypothesis is still pretty accurate. You chose Mulan, who was educated at home for the most part. Just thought that was
my
interesting.
homeschool years.
I was betting everything on you saying Rapunzel.
Why?
I homeschooled.
Homeschool. That's
Homeschooled.
so
Betting.
funny.
I was
That's
so
so
hopeful.
funny. Oh
So
man.
hopeful.
I should have. Man, that would have been funny. I like
I'll-
Tangled too.
I'll take Mulan.
The fact, yeah,
I'll take Mulan. It's close enough.
yeah, Mulan's close enough.
Now, is just for clarity, is that the Mulan from the animated one, or is that the Mulan from the live action remake?
Live action, 100%.
Okay, okay.
100%.
I figured I wanted to be explicit.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, it's just newer.
Mulan is another great movie about exploring how women have to navigate social environments differently.
Yes.
And how they are underappreciated in
Yeah.
cultures. And how they're required to be more intelligent than the average person gives them credit for.
Yeah, especially in that one, whenever it's a world that's not built for her,
Yeah.
it's built for men.
It's a very interesting distinction between the two films.
Yeah, I
Mean
mean,
Girls
high
is
school.
a woman entering into a world of, and ostensibly for women,
It's weird because
in ways that are self-contradictory.
Mean Girls,
and
yeah.
internally misogynistic.
because it's like in Mean Girls they run the school,
Mm.
but it seems like they're still very hyper focused on their physical attributes and their attractiveness
Yeah.
in order to impress men. But then it's also even more so it impacts where they're at and the structure with other women.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird like they're taking ownership of that. Whereas in Mulan, it's like, no, this is just a man's world, and she's having to figure it out
Yeah.
and having to push back against that.
Mean Girls, I think, is a good film about like internalized misogyny,
Yeah,
kind of absorbing culture's stereotypes about women, and you're holding yourself to those standards. Mulan is just a movie about patriarchy.
yes.
There's some internal misogyny, but a lot of it's
Yeah.
just, hey, there's no role for women outside the house, unless it's teaching other women how to become a bride or becoming a matchmaker. It's the only outside of homeschooled education that she receives.
That's the career that you're allowed
That's
to
the
have,
career.
that I'm allowed to have as a homeschooler,
Yeah,
matchmaker.
it's viable.
Okay, that's good. I'll add it to the list.
Add it to the list.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
Mean Girls, it's an 8 out of 10 film. It's positive. It's not derogatory. It's a really good film. Anything else you want to say about it before we close out?
no, I think that's it. So
Go ahead.
yeah, let us know in the comments if you want us to watch Mean Girls 2024, and if so, why and what did we do to deserve that? Not because it's Mean Girls, but because it's not this Mean Girls. And I've heard that this one sucks. The new one sucks, but they usually
Yeah.
do. So anyway, yeah, leave us a comment if you have any ideas of what you want us to talk about. And thank you for watching.
We'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.